Welcome to this deep dive Instagram business growth strategy training. I'm fired up because in this video, you're going to be learning the 5 huge Instagram trends and really mistakes that people are making in 2022 and how to fix them. And our guest trainer today, Chalene Johnson, is going to be teaching on the biggest mistakes that you're probably making, how to fix them, the latest changes on Instagram, and there's a lot. So buckle your seatbelt. Tips for boosting your reach and the best practices for winning on Instagram, but probably most importantly is actually how to monetize your social media in a 2022 world. How do you actually build a real business? You're going to want to buckle your seatbelt for this entire training. And if you're watching the replay, take advantage of chapters and time codes specifically on YouTube. But all of that and more is coming up today on the Grow with Video live show. Welcome back to the Grow with Video live show. I am so fired up to have one of my friends, personal business mentors, social media mentors, and one of our speakers this year at Grow with Video Live, Chalene Johnson, on the show in the house. Chalene, how's it going?
What's up? Great. I mean, that intro, wow. I feel like I'm on like a live TV show. This is high tech, high production value.
Man, we're high tech out here, and smash like if you're just joining us. Now, listen, I want Chalene to get into the training immediately, but if you haven't heard yet, she is actually doing 4 free trainings. It's called Business Growth Week, and you can hear more about it or register at thinkbusinessweek.com. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later, but Chalene is literally all week long. It starts a little later this week, giving you a ton of free training on social media, tactics on social media, monetizing your social media, building your online business, sales. It's going to be incredible. And so check out links around the post or specifically in the YouTube description. But Chalene, I'm excited for your training today, so we can just crack right into it.
Yeah, and I think we need to because we have a lot to cover. There's so much that's changed on Instagram and there's a lot of good news and there's a lot of opportunities that didn't exist before. So I think we should jump right into it.
All right. Well, I'm going to fire it up and I'll be joining you throughout the training today. Here we go.
Okay. So do I need to share my screen or are
Full screen, and
all
you
right, let's
the
do
screen
that.
being shared, and then just go full screen on your slides, and we're ready to rock.
All right, let's go. Okay. Are you seeing my screen, my
Yes,
slides? Oh, you are. Okay,
but
cool.
not in play mode yet.
We got you. How about that? How
Beautiful.
about that?
Here we
Awesome.
are.
All right. So 5 biggest mistakes in social media that people really need to avoid in 2022. I'm assuming that most people here watching are using social media because you're trying to monetize it. You'd like to make, if not a side hustle, a full-time living from social media. That's my Instagram handle. It's at Chalene Johnson. But I always preface that by saying some of what I'm going to teach you, you won't see me putting into practice because I have almost 800,000 followers, and the rules are different depending on how sizable your following is. So how well known you are. So I'm assuming what I'm teaching today is applicable to you if you have under 200,000 followers. And for some of you, even if you have more than 200,000 followers, which by the way, congratulations, this stuff still applies. So first, I want to just quickly blow through some of the things that are low growth trends, meaning these things aren't working as well. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. There's going to be someone who you're going to be like, wait a second, I know someone who's doing that and they're killing it. I would just say, look at their insights because you could be wrong. You might assume someone's killing it because they're doing these things. But if you looked at their insights, they might not be growing. One of the first things that's just going away, thank God, is the overly branded or overly themed grids, where like everything was kind of pretty and matching and followed a sequence. Single photo post, low growth, long content, meaning longer videos, and long captions. Now, don't let that discourage you. To my YouTube friends, there's so many ways for you to repurpose your longer content, and this is actually a good thing. Long captions, they're on the way out. It doesn't surprise anyone, I don't think, because our attention span is like nothing, right? So there's always going to be exceptions, but for most of us, you can keep shorter captions. Overly personal feed content. That's something that really worked well in 2018. Today, we ain't got time. We ain't got time to follow people who are showing us a little bit of everything on their feed. We're not going to follow you. I want to see that in your stories, but on your feed posts, we want very specific, valuable content. Posting product or personal promotion, that's a lot of P's, to your feed, that ain't working. Try it and you'll see. And then too much variety, like showing us too much of what's going on and too much behind the scenes and too much of like what your life is all about on your feed. So we're really talking about these low growth trends. This really relates to what's happening in the feed posts. Here's some things that are trending upward. Share worthy content, the kind of content that people are like, this is so good, I got to send this to like my group text, or I got to send this to my friends, or I need to share this to my stories because it says something about me. Original audio reels. Thank God. Because I don't know about y'all, but like I'm kind of sick of the lip sync reels. Now, no offense, some of them are great and some people do a really great job of it, but the dancing and lip syncing other people's content, it's that trend is slowing down, and original audio on both TikTok and Instagram is blowing up. And by the way, everything that I'm sharing with you applies to really YouTube Shorts. It applies to Instagram, and it applies to TikTok. And frankly, for that matter, YouTube, what I'm going to share with you. Single subject accounts. By single subject, I mean like accounts that are super niched. That's blowing up. Doing multiple posts per day. I know that's kind of a bummer for some people. They're like, what? I can barely keep up with one post a day. Well, multiple posts per day. You're going to understand in this training how to do that quicker. And stories that really maintain engagement as opposed to being like a monologue. And then curiosity. These are the things that are trending upward. So if you're trying to see growth, if you want to see growth on any of your social, these are the things that are really making a difference. And it's really important that you think about this because there's so many more people now on social. Like hear so many people saying, I think I'm shadow banned because my engagement's gone down. I used to get so many more likes like 2 years ago. Yeah, but our attention span has been splintered because twice as many people now are on all the social media platforms. Number one. Number two is most of us are following way too many people. So that means we're very particular about whose content we are looking at, and not regularly looking at other people's content. The algorithm stops showing it to people. So if people haven't engaged, shared your content, if they like you and maybe they would like your content, they're not seeing it. What we have to do is get the attention of the less than 20 accounts that we look at on a regular basis. So most of you, I'd love to see in the chat, let me know how many people you currently follow on Instagram. Sean, do you know how many people you follow?
Too many, I feel like.
Right?
And I follow 3,059. Looking at and I just was debating that recently. Like, what am I even doing here? And a lot of times, like, I'll follow a lot of our students, and I'll follow different people, and I follow people from the past. What I was thinking about was cleaning out,
I
how many people
know.
I follow,
You feel
and
so bad about
algorithmically, I'm
it.
definitely not seeing all those posts.
It's absolutely not. And there's content that we might want to see might actually be valuable for us. But the bottom line is this is how we're behaving now in social. We aren't looking at even 10% of the people that we're following. So the question really becomes, how do I become one of those accounts where people are actually, oh, I got to see, I need to go check so-and-so's account. How do we do that? And the way to do that is by making certain that you are so valuable. People are like, I got to go see it. Not like I like this person and I want to see what they're up to. We just don't have time. So the way that you stand out is, well, the number one mistake people are making is that they're creating content that's just confusing. I'm not sure why I'm looking at your content. And it kind of boils down to what we used to do, where it's like, well, you want to show people who you are. You want to be authentic. You want to show them a little slice of life and let people know who you are, which is true in stories. But on our feed posts, it's just confusing. If I follow you because you are an expert at NFTs, and when I go and look at your content that day, it's a picture of like you and your family on a vacation. You're like, what is this? And then you have to go back and look at the person's account. And if you go back to their account and there's like some NFT stuff, some family stuff, also they're running a marathon and preparing for that, and we're seeing how they're eating. I'm just confused, and I'm going to if I don't unfollow, I'm probably going to mute it. And if I don't mute it, I'm just not going to engage with it. And the first time you don't engage with a post that you've looked at, it drops lower in the algorithm. And eventually, not too long after that, Instagram just won't even show your content to that person anymore. So what's the fix? The fix is a difficult pill to swallow, but you've got to niche down. None of us want to do that. Everybody, I know, because you're multi-talented, you've got multiple interests, there's more dimensions to you, there's other things that you could be promoting. But if we don't niche down, no one's ever going to see our content. In our feed posts, you're going to hear me keep saying that. In our feed posts, there's a place for us to see all the parts of you, but it's not in our feed posts. Our feed posts need to be niched down. And I think the word niche scares people. So think of it this way. Just pick a topic, pick a singular focus, pick one subject and stick to it. Like more than 80% of your posts should be that one niche, that one subject, that one focus. And this is hard for people to do. And I'm wondering, let me know in the chat if you are like, I can just post about one topic. I can do that. Or if this is a struggle. So either type, I can do that, or this is a struggle. And, you're honest to admit that it's a struggle, but that's the fix. So I want to share with you some case studies. These are all accounts that myself, and I really should say my team, helped me to manage and grow. These are all what we would call niched accounts, themed accounts, feature accounts, whatever term you want to call it. But generally speaking, these are accounts where we're only posting one type of content for one type of very targeted avatar. So, you can see how home workouts, that's all that we post, is very specific workouts for women it's very specific, working out at home, have minimal equipment, and they are intermediate to advanced fitness gals, women ages 25 to 35. It's very specific. Insta Club Hub, that account has grown very, very fast. The only thing we post there is things related to growing your Instagram. Push Me Daily is ADHD content. And Brock's account, which is growing at a rate of about 1,500 new followers per day. And that started happening. He was like at 80,000 followers last year. And he started growing this fast once before he was talking about all social media things, which isn't niched enough. That's a topic, but it's not niched enough. But once he started saying, okay, all I'm going to do is specifically post about Instagram growth with Reels. Like, that is so specific, and it just blows up. So here's another case study. This is one of our students. Charisse had 724 followers when she started with us, and did not want to pigeonhole herself. She felt like, but some people really like this content, some people really like that content. We said, all right, do a little test. Let's just see what happens if you can really niche down to one specific type of content. I want to share this with you.
I was shocked. It worked. My following shot through the roof. In less than 30 days, I grew by over 10,000.
Her following shot through the roof. She grew by over 10,000. We can't hear the audio super loud, but she was shocked by the results that we're observing on screen right now.
Yeah, less than 30 days. She went from under 1,000 followers to 11K followers. But she really she did not want to do this. She forced herself to really niche down and thought that she was going to lose a lot of momentum. This is what happened after she continued to do that. Now she's at over 40,000 followers. And so this does work for just about anybody. This is another one of our students. They were killing it. They were doing snowboard injury prevention, right? Which seems pretty niched, but then they niched it down even further and started doing snowboarding. Sean, I swear we had this conversation when we were snowboarding in Park City. You were asking me about what yoga moves you could do, or
yoga for snowboarders, straight up.
And that's all that they post now. And look what their following went from. They went
Dang,
from
from
5,000
5,000 to
just like
42,000.
that. And they were so afraid to do that. They're like, oh, that is like, isn't snowboarding niched enough? Like snowboarding injury prevention? We're like, well, not really. Yes, it's niched, but what would happen if you niched down way further? And that's how you stand out. It's just I know it's scary, but it is the way to grow really, really fast. Here's Brock's story. Again, he was teaching um, social media in general. And just by like going straight up how to grow with reels, it's insane. His growth is insane. I'm sure it's higher than 4 now because it's been a couple of days since I made that slide. But the good news is, and I hope you find this reassuring, is that your stories can still be about everything and anything, but they still have to be very interesting and valuable, and they have to engage people. Number 2 biggest mistake that people are making is weak bios. So let's talk about this. And Sean, you can take me down for just a second. The last time you looked at a great piece of content, right? And you're like, ooh, this is good. And you're thinking to yourself, I would like more of this. What's your behavior? You go and you look at the person's account. And the first thing you do is you quickly look at the bio, and that has to pass the test. If that doesn't pass the sniff test that tells you I'm going to get more of what I just saw, then you're out. But that's step 1 is like the bio has to say to the person who just looked at that piece of content, they're like, this is good. I would like more of it. If they look at your bio and it's like, oh, I have no idea what they post about, then you're probably not going to get that following. And the way to fix this is pretty easy. You got to optimize your bio. And this is a really important thing for everyone to do. It's not the easiest thing to do. So I want to take you through an actual case study. This is someone who is in network marketing. And like most people, she's got things in her bio that are cute. Maybe they say something about her personality, but I don't care. I want to know what's in it for me, right? So she says, I am currently unable to quit as I am currently too legit. Okay, I get it. She's an MC Hammer fan. We have that in common. But that I don't need to know that. Underneath that, she says, I teach 5-minute makeup tips. Now if I've just seen one of her makeup tip videos, that should have been at the very top because most of us don't even have time to read 2 sentences. We're going to read 1 sentence. So the very first sentence of your bio better make me go like, oh, I'm going to get more of what I just saw. Okay. Also, you see underneath it where it says Cient Top Leader, and then underneath it, it says entrepreneur. Well, Cient Top Leader, that is the space where you are putting your name on Instagram, but your account handle in most cases is already your name. So you want to use that space wisely. That's the only area in your bio that is search engine optimized. So, and this is what her content looked at like before. Okay, so let's just pretend that I just saw a great 5-minute makeup tutorial from her. First of all, her picture doesn't say she does makeup. Like it does to me, it's like, is she at the gym with a mask on? I don't get it. You know what I mean? So that already is detracting from her message. But once I see 5-minute makeup tutorials, I'm going to give her like 10 more seconds of my time, and I'm going to glance at her most recent posts, and I'm going to go, dude, I don't see any makeup tutorials. I'm out. I'm already out. I'm out. Maybe there are some that she posted a week ago, but they're not showing up in these first, 9, 10, 15 posts that I can see. So I'm out. I'm done. So here's what we did for a makeover. First, change the photo. Zoom in on your face. Ideally, I would like her background to be lighter so that it's not so dark. But you need to, like right here, I don't care how cute you look that day and your body looks great and your kids are with you. Ain't nobody can tell because your phone, I've got the mini phone. I bought the little teeny tiny new iPhone. Brett, everyone teases me because it's so little. But like literally the screens are so small, you can't even, if it needs to be your face. Okay. Now look what we did to her content. We changed her bio to read, listen to this. First of all, put her title to be something that people are going to search for. So to take advantage of the search engine optimization, we changed it to quick makeup tips. That shows up underneath her photo. Underneath that, it says 5-minute all natural makeup tutorials for moms over 40, very specific niche. I help women who want to look like they have it all together in 5 minutes or less. It's a very specific niche. Now look at the content. You glance at her content and you're going to say, number 1, I love she's showing other people's 5-minute makeup tutorials, not just hers. So I'm not just going to get one style. I'm going to see myself in some of these images, and I can just glance at this and see that I'm going to get the type of content that she's promised me in her bio. So that's just a very quick 5-minute, bio makeover. And we've got a really strong call to action. Schedule your Zoom consult and a link tree. Simple. Now, if I'm looking for more 5-minute makeup tutorials, I've changed my bio, but my content still looks like her old content. She's not going to get my follow, right? She's got to change her content and her bio. So that's how we can really take advantage of, first of all, the search engine optimization and the fact that you've got about 10 seconds to convince someone that you are worth a follow, right? So here's a breakdown of what everything is. There's her username is at the top. We've got a profile picture that is nice and tight. We've got her niche and what it is I can expect if I follow you. Because the biggest mistake that most people I think make in their Instagram bios is they turn it into a resume where they'll say like, I am an author, a podcaster, and I love life. That's great. It's a resume. It's awesome, which is what worked in 2021. But now I don't have time. I don't care what you did. I just need to know what do you do here on Instagram? What are you doing on Instagram? Why do I need to follow you? Because I'll figure out who you are after I look at your stories. Then we've also got her niche statement, a link, which is her call to action. The title, which should be search engine optimized. And then if you want, you can put in a little credibility there, which is basically what you do. Number 3 mistake. Hey, Sean, how are we doing? Any questions? You want me to slow down?
No, I love this. And one of the things that you mentioned that especially kind of in Think Media where we teach, production was you mentioned her profile picture was good with the more close shot. But because she has black hair and a dark background, she kind of disappeared. And one of
Yep.
the things that I love that you do and we think about the same is just contrast. So what color is your hair? What is maybe even your skin tone? Brock is doing something similar, especially with that color background.
Yeah.
And we recently did it. I kind of tried to figure out what's your color, and we actually have a tutorial. We'll link it up on Omar talks about just taking like a paper background. You could tack it up on the wall, and you could either just splash an LED light on it, but getting that contrast as well as that close-up headshot, I think was a really great point, as well as, of course, all your bio optimization tips. And so smash like if you've been getting value so far. We're talking about these 5 big mistakes, and we're going into number 3 right now, Chalene. So I'm fired up. Not posting enough.
Yeah, just to walk it back real quick to that profile picture. You can just take a selfie right now because it doesn't need to be high quality. Take a selfie the next time whatever, take a selfie on your phone, and you can use an app like Canva or an app like Pixel Cut, and it'll remove your background for you. It'll give you lots of different options of a round, bright background that matches your brand or that's a contrast to your hair color. And it's you can have it done in like less than 2 minutes. So Canva, Pixel Cut, those are both simple apps to do that. They'll remove your background for you. Just a click
Yeah,
of
the
a button.
remove background feature is amazing in
I love it.
Canva.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 3 mistake, and this is one that's hard for people because they're like, I'm so freaking busy, but I'm going to solve it for you. Is you're just not posting enough. Okay, so here's the deal: you want new followers because the followers you have right now, they're not engaging, and they've already had an opportunity to become your customers. You've got to reach new people who specifically are served by your niche, who need the solution that you provide. That's how we monetize our social media. It isn't by going viral. It isn't by attracting tons of people. It's by attracting people specifically who are like, yes, this is exactly what I need. This person can help me. This person has what can take me to the next level, create that transformation, save me time, save me money. They have what I need. And the only way you ever have an opportunity to reach new people is when you do a post. So follow me for a second. If you do 6 posts a week, you've got 6 opportunities to attract new people. You double that, and you're going to double your growth. Because we're all following too many people, the trend is most of us are trying to unfollow every single day, which is why if you're not posting, you're losing followers. Even if you haven't posted, you're every single day, every hour that goes by that you haven't posted, you're losing followers. That's just part of the attrition process. But every time you post something new, you're offsetting that balance. So you're going to see your growth happen much faster. And that's how you fix it. You just got to post more, but specifically post reels right now on Instagram, right? Post more to TikTok, post more to YouTube, post more to your YouTube shorts, post more to Facebook. But when you're on Instagram, post reels. And that content can be repurposed. It can be repurposed over to every platform I just mentioned, including, I forgot to mention, Pinterest. All the platforms are shifting over to giving a lot of attention to short form content, short form videos, right? And so why not take advantage of that by using the Reels function? Right now, Reels are performing 22% better than any other type of feed post. That's huge. And get this, shorter Reels do better. So by spending even less time, you've got a 22% chance of seeing more growth. So here are some trends I want you to get ahead of when it comes to Reels. Original content. And the way to know what's trending is to just think about what's bugging you, like what you're like, I'm so sick of that. If you're sick of it, I guarantee it's trending down. So just because you're seeing everybody do it doesn't mean you should do it. Like, pay attention. If you're like, that, I find that so annoying, everyone else is about to find it so annoying too. So what's really working right now is very, very short original content, your original audio, because Instagram is it's just responding to what we do and don't like. So short original content, short original audio, huge. Creative production. And creative production doesn't mean you have to have a production team. It doesn't mean you have to be super creative. It means that you're thinking about production, like what grabs people's attention. Even if it's just a quick phone transition where you're using your phone, it looks like there's movement. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, using special apps, although there are some great ones out there. But creative content is going to grab people's attention, and shorter content is blowing up. Hey, can I give everybody like a really quick hack right now that'll just like blow your mind?
I would really like the hack personally. I think I speak for everybody. Yes.
Okay, you got to take me off screen for just a second. I'll give you this one.
All right. Here we
This one's so cool. Okay, so what works insane right now, and I don't know how long this is going to last, but it'll work right now, is I want you to look at your insights and take either a photo or a text post, like when you do one of those quotes or whatever. Take the one that has performed the best for you in the last year. Okay. Take that. It's a singular photo or post, right? And then I want you to make a screen recording of that photo or text post, a screen recording that's like 2 seconds. Okay. Crop it so it's square. Now it's a video. Now it's a video that is 1 to 2 seconds. But it's already a piece of content that's proven to have performed well for your account, which means the algorithm is already set up to respond and say, people who follow this account love this type of content, but now it's a video, which Instagram loves. So you're going to post that 1 to 2 second video and it will blow up. Here's why. Because people don't even, especially if it's something that's going to take more than 1 second to read. So people are going to they're going to watch that video probably for 5 seconds, which means you've got 5 times the view, right? So people are like, wow, the average person watches this 500% of the video. So algorithm responds to that and it'll show it to more people. Try it. It's super easy. You already created the content. Instagram loves it. Trust me, it works. All right, let's get to your number 4 mistake.
And let me just speak to that. This is why you're my personal Instagram Sherpa. And we've been applying that, and you can see this right here, for example, is a video. So it's a 1 second looping video, and it got 21,434 views because it's just it's a still image. And even, again, it's the Growth Video Live show, and we're so pumped that Chalene is okay, we've done the same on an image. That's an actual video, but we are doing it consistently where it's just a looping image, and we will use static images just like that one where you can see Chalene in the corner there. Super powerful tips, which, by the way, before we get into number 4 and number 5, if you're loving this, obviously Chalene's just scratching the surface. And if you haven't heard, she's doing a whole week. It's called Business Growth Week, of free training, 90-minute trainings, 4 of them. They're all free. And if you haven't registered for that yet, it starts later this Thursday, I believe. Thinkbusinessweek.com, or check the comments or check the description. Highly recommended if this is the kind of information you like. Plus, you can see, obviously, we're getting results by applying everything that we learned from Chalene, her team, as well as I believe Brock on the team is going to be teaching, and her husband, Brett.
Yeah.
I can't even wait for thinkbusinessweek.com.
Yeah. You know what we did, just to give people a little perspective on it, is everyone's at a different level. So rather than trying to serve everyone on each workshop, I said, you know, there's people who don't even know yet what to monetize. Like they don't even really have a business idea. They're creating great content. They love social, but they really don't know what, okay, that's a specific workshop we're going to do. There are people who do know what they're monetizing, but they have no idea how to make it sales happen on social. That's a specific workshop, right? And it doesn't make sense for you to go to that one if you don't know what you're going to sell. So we really did each one of these workshops for very specific audience. And I know we said that they're 90 minutes. That's really the Q&A. But if you just want to get in and get out those 30 minutes, look at the titles of each one of the workshops, because they're not for everyone. Each one we've designed for a very specific person so that we can really deliver stuff that, you know, takes you to the next level. That last little hack that I just gave, by the way, that will help you. Like, it's an important hack because yeah, it works. But more so, the reason why I like it is because I don't want you to spend more time than you need to on social media. Like, we're making it too hard. And so when we take something like that, where it's like, I already created this, and less, you know, such a small percentage of your audience is seeing your content every day anyways. So take what you know works, and produce it for them in a different way. Okay. The number 4 mistake, is it okay to move on, Sean?
Absolutely. I was just showing some of the ways you're doing it with the 1-second videos. This one has a cool little C caption for help, which is, man, we're seeing that's a whole. So you got the anyways, I'm distracted. You're out here, you're crushing at Chalene Johnson. All right, back to the deck. Back to you, Chalene.
Okay, so the number 4 mistake is self-focused content. And I think most of you are probably going to be relieved to hear this, because I don't know about you, but there are most days I wake up, I'm like, I don't have anything interesting going on. My life isn't Instagram worthy today. I don't know what to say about myself. I don't know what to post about myself. I don't look cute today. I just don't know what to post. That's what most people struggle with. And the good news is that type of content isn't performing as well. I mean, unless maybe you're a Kardashian. Other than that, that's not what people want to see. What people really want is content that's, oh, this is so good that I want to share it. So it's share worthy content. So that usually means just think about the last thing you shared to your stories. Why did you share it? You didn't share it because your friend did an amazing job of editing themselves. They look beautiful. Their waist is snatched and they're on a lovely vacation with their gorgeous family. You don't share that content. Nobody shares that because, frankly, no one other than like your closest friends and your parents really care. You know, we just don't. But the new person, they want content. It's like, okay, what I want something that's valuable to me. And so when we share content, we're sharing content because we're like, okay, I'm going to share this because it's going to be valuable to my followers. I'm going to share this to my friends in my, group chat. Like I'm sure you guys all have a group chat where you have to see this TikTok. You have to see this Instagram reel. You have to see this YouTube video. So think about what it is that motivates you to share content, and then you want to create more of that content. And I know that can sound kind of vague, so I'll try to break that down a little bit more. But when someone shares a post of yours, what they're doing is saying, hey, I want everyone else to see this person. It's like they're giving you the stamp of approval to all of their followers. So not only are more people discovering you, but the right kind of people are discovering you, because it's people who already follow you and love your content. So the more shares you get, the more followers you are likely to get. And that happens only when we're creating really great content that people find share worthy. So my suggestion is, before you make your next post, you just have to ask yourself, is this valuable enough that people would share it? Because there's a lesson, there's motivation, there's a tip, there's a how-to, there's anything funny. anything that like this says something about me. It says something about, what I stand for. That's the kind of stuff that people share. Okay. The number 5 mistake, this is a big one, is ignoring what works. And this means you're not looking at your insights. And when I say ignoring what works, here's what I'm talking about. We're so focused on likes and comments, but yet we can't understand why our account isn't growing. So the one thing I urge you to do is start looking at your insights to know what content is actually attracting the most new followers, because that's a heavy, heavy assignment today. Most of us are not like, I don't know about you, but I'm so stingy with my follow today. Like, I'm like, it's good, but I can't follow. I can't follow one more person. So if somebody actually gets my follow, I'm like, this is good. I want to see it again. It's valuable to me. Not it's a little bit interesting. Not, oh, this person's attractive. Not, oh, this person has a fascinating life. We don't have time. No one cares anymore. So if you really, really want to make a difference in social, you've got to create content that it's so good that people are following you because of it. So I urge you to look at your insights today and take a look at, okay, here's the content that I've posted. Just look at your insights and figure out what piece of content got you the most new follows. And I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going on a limb here and say for 98% of you, it's going to be the content that was shared the most. It's not saves. It's not likes. It's not comments. It's the content that was shared the most is the content that's getting you the most ideal followers. And, like I said, the more you post, the more you grow. So I want to give you some tips, because who doesn't need some time saving tips, right? Okay, so let me blow through these because I know we're coming up on the end. The first thing is reposting proven viral content that's in your niche from the original creator, but with their permission. Now, there's some controversy around this. There's a lot of accounts that share viral content and they don't tag the original creator and they don't ask for permission. But for most people, myself included, if you want to share my content, you don't have to ask for my permission. Please, you want to promote me for free to your followers? Go for it. I mean, recently I had someone point out to me that there's somebody on that started a podcast where they're sharing clips of other people's podcasts, and mine's featured on a whole bunch of them. And they're like, my team said, do you want to go after them and, tell them to take it down for copyright infringement? I said, hell no. They're like, it's so like they're running a commercial for me. No one's going to listen to that podcast and say, wow, I really like that Chalene Johnson. I want to do business with this guy. They're going to go, I really like this Chalene Johnson. I got to figure out how to find her podcast. So, when we're sharing other people's viral content, provided you are tagging them and providing you're asking for permission, if it's within your niche, then that's one less piece of content you have to create. It's giving them exposure. It's reciprocity. It's an abundance mindset. There's enough to go around. You don't have to worry about like, oh, they're my competition. I don't know. I don't think that way. And I encourage you to do that. These are accounts I want to share with you where we've followed this strategy. Okay. So take a look at this. All right. So look at Push Me Daily. That's the first one. Everything you see in green is all content we've shared with the permission of other creators. Look at Home Workouts for You. Every single piece of content is from another creator that we've shared, promoted them, shouted out their account. And you might think, gosh, I'm shouting out someone else's account. Yes, but look at what it's done to our account. It's blown up because our account then becomes a very valuable account if you're looking for really intense workouts at home with very little equipment. Same thing, Marketing Impact Academy. Again, green represents content that we're posting where we're shouting out somebody else, but it's content that falls within our niche. Okay. And the reason why this works, even with your own content, is because less than 6% of your followers are seeing your average feed post on average. And there are people who are higher. Congratulations. But most of the time, people, they either forgotten about it or they never saw it. So what you should be doing is, instead of like constantly reinventing the wheel, take your stuff that's already performed really well and just either tweak it or just completely repost it. Let me share with you what we put this to the test. Okay. And this is a case study. We did this on our accounts for 30 days. This is a 30-day case study. Now, I have virtual assistants who help us with all these accounts, but check out what happened. So here are the accounts that we tested it on. For 30 days, what you're looking at is all the green was content that we had posted before. It was so old content we repurposed. We had posted it before within the last 6 months. Okay? All of that was old content. Would you like to see what it did to our numbers? This is going to blow your freaking mind. These accounts, 30 days, no new content, and they had a 244% increase of new followers. I'm like, why do we try so hard? Why do we keep thinking we have to come up with new content? Let's just like improve the stuff or tweak the stuff or repost the stuff that we already know worked.
This is good.
Right?
This is strong.
Our
This is
reach
really
went up
strong.
189%, engagement up 178%. Insane. So here's our quick little recap of the 5 things you need to do moving forward. Take a screenshot of that, and I'm here for your questions.
Chalene Johnson, that last one was powerful. Growth recap, though, you got to niche down. What is your niche? Let us know in the comments if you're watching this on the replay. Are you clear on your niche, or are you a little bit foggy? Are you multi-passionate? Secondly, how optimized is your bio? Do you know your bio? Third, post more reels. Fourth, share worthy content.
Oh, sorry. Do you need that back up again?
I was reading it. But fifth is study that insights is really study what works. And if you want to learn more, of course, Chalene is the expert, and thinkbusinessweek.com is a place where there's 4 different workshops to choose from. They're all happening this week. And so definitely make sure to register for all that free training. There should be a link in the description, or you can check a clickable link in the comments. You know, if you're new to Chalene, I know some people, we saw a kind comment of somebody that was pumped for all your training and that was pumped to meet you. I've known Chalene now for 5 years, and she's changed my personal life and business, her team, her family, and ultimately her content, and eventually her program called the Marketing Impact Academy. But one of the reasons why I love Chalene is because, first, of course, you got to be good at what you do. Why would you want to learn from somebody who can't give you real tips, actionable tips? But deeper than that, here at Think Media, especially, we're so purpose-driven and values-driven that getting to know Chalene and her husband, Brett. How long have you guys been married now?
27 years.
27 years married. Brock and Sierra, her kids. We had a profound conversation a while back where she had mentioned early in her career, when you've got your peers, you've got people that are going everywhere, speaking at every event, doing everything to grow their brand. And of course, as ambitious leaders, if you're listening to this, and entrepreneurs, you can kind of you can feel pulled into that. And Chalene has had just incredible success. But one of the things that I learned from that conversation is there's a difference between ambition and toxic ambition. And one of the things I respect the most about Chalene and her family is that while building a world-class business, that she purposely reduced her travel so she could be at every single one of Brock's football games and every single one of Sierra's track meets. Not only that, not just seeing results on the external, but seeing and getting to travel to Southern California and work with her team a couple different times, or film videos and film podcasts with her. I got to meet her team. I got to see that the people around her were healthy and doing well, and that they have a culture, and that she deeply cares about people. So I know this isn't about Instagram training here, but I just want you to know and acknowledge you, Chalene, for just, man, your influence in my life over the years.
Thanks.
And just those other things that I think ultimately matter most. Because what good is it to get to the top of the mountain at the sacrifice of the things that matter most? And I know people go through things, and that sometimes there can be reasons for a marriage being toxic or whatever. But honestly, there's too many divorces happening, too many people that are prioritizing business over family. There's just too much. There's too many fake people that they look good on the outside for a while, but then kind of, the house of cards comes tumbling down. So I'm just grateful for your depth of character and your world-class education in social media and business. And just want to say, I appreciate you. And so saying all that, for those in our world too, if you're just meeting Chalene, She's a lot of fun. I like the fact that she can crush it on the slope snowboarding. She lip syncs and raps to a lot of really hardcore rappers. I mean, not just like surface level, like crossover pop rap, but like
I know.
really gangster rap. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy the level that you take it. But just amidst all of that social media stuff as well, I'm just so grateful for your family and values and
Aw,
character and integrity and legacy in the industry. And so I
thanks.
really appreciate you.
Yeah, it's hard to stay focused these days. I think that's important to, like at the end of a training to say something like that because we can get all caught up in like, do more, do more, do more, do more. I'm not doing enough. Everybody's doing more than me. And I do think it is really important for us to constantly be reminding each other to stay focused, to stay the course, to know and put in writing what's important to you. Otherwise, you will get caught up in like, okay, well, this is just a quick opportunity, or we're going to slow down after this happens. And it really is important that you just do things with thoughtful consideration and thinking about like what is the next right step for me that is also in alignment with my priorities, my values, and what matters most to me. So I'm glad you said it.
Beautiful. And so, anyways, for time, and I hope you've been getting value, hit like. If you haven't been to thinkbusinessweek.com, definitely head over there because that's where, if you want more Chalene Johnson, it's business growth week is happening. And I'm excited because this is happening April 21 through the 24th. It's all free.
Yeah.
And monetize your social media, how to slay sales without selling, 4 secrets to business success, and the More Money Masterclass. I mean, I'm not even trying to gush, but literally the impact. I was just telling our team this morning, your and Brett Johnson's, just how you've helped me with money management, stewardship of finances, business operations,
Wow.
focus, productivity. Yeah, we take a lot of notes directly inside of your products and programs, and this also observing from afar as well, screenshotting your stories, screenshotting Brett's stories, stock picks, and it's just y'all add so much value. And so anyways, definitely reserve your
Super
seat
fun.
for the free workshops, thinkbusinessweek.com. And Chalene Johnson, final word for entrepreneurs. You know, uh, you've done used car sales early in
Yeah.
your career. People may not know that that they could go to their local fitness club and probably find Pio on the options of classes to take.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
the
Yep.
inventor of Pio and all
Yeah.
kinds of fitness stuff. So you are a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And those listening to this, I would argue, kind of are as well. These days, it's, building up Instagram, and then eventually maybe I make a course or I want to write a book. You're a #1 New York Times bestselling author. My God, you've done a lot of different things. Can you speak to us to just the seasons of entrepreneurship and whether we feel like we're on a mountaintop right now or in a valley right now? Just what you've learned through the highs and lows of business. You just haven't just had success. You've been punched, metaphorically, maybe physically, but you've been punched metaphorically, by hard financial months and setbacks, and all entrepreneurs have. Can you just give us some encouragement to keep going as we're building our businesses as
Yeah.
we land the plane?
Yeah. So it's dangerous, I think, sometimes for people to hear someone like myself, like kind of a resume or a list of our successes, because then it makes you feel like you should be doing all these things too. But the reason why Brett and I have been able to successfully grow 7 different businesses in 7 different industries, all, $1 million businesses, is because we didn't do them at the same time. So when we have stumbled and when we made really big financial mistakes, it's because I started like, I don't want to say getting greedy, but like, oh, I better do that too, where my work wasn't done and my attention wasn't finished on the project that we were in. So every one of those accolades that you just shared, thank you so much. But I didn't do any of those all at the same time. Like I just focused for 2 years on growing my email list so that when I did launch my book, it would be on the New York Times bestseller list. When we started, when I sold our fitness business, then we stopped doing any fitness related content. And I just focused exclusively on growing our online marketing community, and then grew that so to a place where it was, thriving. And we're talking like 4 or 5 years before it really could, I could almost set it and forget it and then think about the next opportunity. But it's kind of like children. If you try to adopt 5 at once, like that's wonderful, but can you really give each one of them adequate attention? And I personally don't think you can. I think you need to create that solid foundation for each opportunity. And the way to do that is to remember that you don't have to do this thing forever, but you should look at all the things you're interested in and pick the one where you're like, number one, I'm really interested in this one, but the opportunity, the timing of this particular one is now. So maybe you've got 5 things that you're really interested in. You're like, I could launch a podcast, and I'm focused on my affiliate sales, and I'm also trying to build my chiropractic practice. Pick the one and double down. The one where, because you're interested in all those. So just pick the one where you're like, there's the best opportunity for growth and scale based on the season that I'm in and what's happening in the world, and go with that. Pick one and double down.
Pick one and double down. The power of focus. Chalene Johnson, thank you so much. Hey, can we show love to Chalene in the comments today? Hit the like button. Thank you so much for being on the Grow with Video Live show. Chalene Johnson is one of our speakers, but Grow with Video Live still a few weeks out. I think we're almost 40 days out. And so if you want to really get some valuable content this week, highly recommend checking out thinkbusinessweek.com, where you can get 4 more sessions from Chalene. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, the Think Media podcast, Chalene's episode is dropping on there. We were recently in San Diego together at an event called Social Media Marketing World, and she adds a lot more content all about niche. Friends, I am so grateful for you. Thank you for being here today. Smash the like button if you got value out of the training. If you want to catch the replay, it'll be up here as well if you joined late. My name is Sean Cannell, rhymes with YouTube channel. This has been the Grow with Video Live show, and I will see you in a future episode. Peace.